Do you want to know why every photographer drools when they hear Aperture 1.2? Simply put, the aperture determines how much light gets into your camera by going through the lens, through the shutter, and hitting your sensor. Which is why I hope you have seen my other two videos explaining ISO and shutter. With Aperture, we are at the last pillar of photography. This one is by far my favorite one, and you will see the smaller the number, the better. But let's start at the beginning. It's another mechanical, actual visual thing that happens inside your lens and for our convenience is adjustable through your camera. If you haven't done it yet, go grab your camera, put a lens on, preferably with a wide aperture like 1.8 for example, then find a spot inside your home where you can actually look into your lens and then just adjust the aperture. The smaller the number, the wider the aperture and thus more light comes in. If you go to a higher number, you will see the aperture closing and letting less light in. Now, if you keep your aperture open, you will not only get more light, but also a shallow depth of field. This is a small area where you can pull focus. Everything outside this area will be blurry because it's out of focus. However, if you go with a higher number, meaning a smaller aperture, you will have a bigger focus range and not so many things will be blurry in the background. As usual, that depends on what you're up to. If you're trying to capture the beauty of a magnificent landscape, I wouldn't recommend going with a wide aperture of 1.8. Instead, try out 5.6 or even higher. If you are taking portraits, a wide aperture will help you to separate your subject from the background and really bring the attention to what matters. Think of it in terms of how much you want or even need to see in your image. Try a wide aperture first, take a look at your picture, and if you feel like you're missing something, try a smaller aperture, meaning you have to go up in the number. I will try and sum it up for you, but be warned, it will sound even more confusing than the stuff you heard before. The smaller the number, the wider the aperture, the more light gets in, and the smaller the area of focus. Thus, a shallow depth of field. The higher the number, the less light gets in and your area of focus is bigger. Just keep in mind, a wide aperture is the result of a small number on your screen and a small aperture is the result of a high number on your screen. Makes totally sense, right? I know this probably sounds quite confusing at first, but trust me when I tell you one day you will know all of this by heart. This is it for camera basics. If you have missed the other two, I'm going to link them down below and at the end card. Leave me a comment with your question. Thank you for watching, subscribe if you haven't already, and have a wonderful day. My hand is too small, I'm sorry.